Hello everybody, welcome back for StarCraft 2 action. It's the 2v2 uThermal Cup, and I have some bad news. Serral is playing Protoss. And that means that the Sith Lord has always been amongst us. Serral joining the dark side to bolster the Phenoms team, or Team Phenoms. As the double Zerg with ZhuGeLiang didn't quite yield the results that they were looking for in the February edition. They did end up going down, I think it was the quarterfinals, to Elazer and SKillous. What a segue. And their opponents are SKillous and Elazer once again now. They face each other in the semifinals. Winner does go on to the finals. It's a best of 3, and we start on Rhoskallian, which is the one with the Xel'Nagas in the middle. Pretty cool map in my eyes. And, I mean, all eyes are on the new Dark Lord, or I guess that's Harry Potter, but the Sith Lord. As he goes for a double gateway cybernetics core. And his partner in crime, ZhuGeLiang. In the previous edition of the Phenom team, ZhuGeLiang basically always went for roach composition, got a later third than Serral, and just was kind of the rock of the team, where Serral would do more techie plays, he would go for mutas, he would go for hydras and lurkers, and ZhuGeLiang would just be that trusty roach ball that kept them alive most of their games. On the other side, we have a team that I think also formed for the last edition. I don't think they played in the January edition, but I might be wrong. It's Elazer and SKillous. And they've been showing SKillous making Blink Stalkers, and then Elazer doing whatever else they need. Sometimes they go for Ling Roach all in. We can see them get a Spire on Elazer. Elazer can also go for Lurkers. And then SKillous usually getting a Robo after. Not really a Stargate type of Protoss in this 2v2 meta right now. He does get a Stargate sometimes as like the first building and then goes into Blink. But we haven't seen him go any Sky Toss just yet, which honestly I do appreciate. Double Stalker from Serral walking across the map here. He's getting a Nexus and also getting a Twilight Console. Blink is where it's at, boys. Ooh. Elazer's Overlord does get caught out here by double Stalker from Serral. One Stalker from SKillous comes out, but... oh, one more shot! Doesn't get the final shot. Are you kidding me? It's 7 health. Wow. Deny it. Quickly deny it. Oh, 3 Queens actually taking down ZhuGeLiang's Overlord. Oh, well, that was quite the shift there. Wasn't quite expecting that. And Serral's hallucination going across the map. Getting a shield battery in the natural as well. Playing very safe. Getting his blink. And Elazer does have an Overlord that might bite to dust here, as it gets found in the natural Serral. Serral has a bunch of probes ready to mine. Getting a slightly later Nexus than his opponent. Does get the full scout. Sees 4 gateways and blink underway. And Serral also has a later blink. So his build, strictly less economical, I must say. Less probes, later blink. I'm not sure. I guess the double gates start with those Stalkers at the front was kind of the payoff they were hoping for. Does keep them safe for now. ZhuGeLiang getting a third base, getting a lair. Has that Roach worn up. No Zergling speed, but it is being researched. Oh no, that's a Laser actually. ZhuGeLiang also already has it. Okay, he did get Zergling speed this time around. And the Zergling just patrolling. SKillous sending Stalkers across the map. His blink is about to finish. And the colors are a little bit confusing, so... probably gonna call things wrongly, perhaps. SKillous might look for a blink up here. Oh, that's some roaches from ZhuGeLiang. Waddling across the map here. No roach speed. It's slow roaches right here. As, I don't know, maybe he forgot roach speed, because he does have a lair, doesn't he? No, it's pure hatch tech. It's actually hatch tech with 38 drones. I think this is just an all-in from Serral and ZhuGeLiang, or at least a very committed pressure, as the Zerg does not have a lair, does not have drones on this base, so they are defending with a big army, but SKillous and Elazer a little bit more economically established, and if they can get the fight across the map, they can retreat and fight again at home. Oh, Elazer retreats, but SKillous stands, and the fury of Team Phenom does come down on his stalkers, loses a couple of them now. That pylon in the middle also goes down. Serral blinks forward boldly. Goes where he has never gone before because he usually doesn't play Protoss. It's kind of crazy how all the players kind of switch to Protoss for memes, and then it's never Zerg, it's never Terran. Now Team Finland does take the Zelnaga towers in the middle. This might become a little difficult for SKillous and Elazer. The Liquid Boys, we do see 3 shield batteries coming down, though. Third base for Elazer comes down a little later, or he just took it further out, I'm not sure. And is starting to drone it up. He's getting lurkers as well. What is the response from Team Phenom? There is no lair from ZhuGeLiang still. So I think this is just a massive all-in now. It's no way it's anything else. And we have the Blink Stalkers. We have the Roach Ravager. But their supply isn't even that much higher. I mean, I like this on this map, but their attack got slowed down so much. Oh, that's a lot of lurkers. They're going to do a lot of damage. And I don't see any detection for Team Phenom. Oh, yeah, Serral does the blink in. He shuts down this natural base of Elazer. Might be able to click down the hatchery even before the defenses come in. The drones come in to maybe bait a couple shots, but the hatchery gets clicked down, and the Stalkers even get the blink out. Is SKillous going to blink after them? That would be a big commitment. But the lurkers do defend this base at the bottom as well, so Elazer does keep 2 bases alive, but does get some damage done to him. We do see a lair coming in and some more drones for ZhuGeLiang, and he's getting back into this game slowly but surely, but the bottom team is definitely still hurting. They don't have a lot of workers, and their supply is falling behind. All that they have is their standing army that could perhaps do some damage with some nice moves, but 1 Zelnaga for each team so far. That's a lot of Stalkers from SKillous. Even has +1 on the units. And Serral does not have +1. Serral's starting Double Forge and also Robotic Support Base, so he's going to have some strong, beefy Colossi perhaps in the future. Because I could also see some Disruptors. Disruptors are pretty nice against these lurkers. Elazer, it's time for some payback. Just burrow a couple lurkers near the mineral line of Serral and make him sad. But instead, it's just going to be a slow crawl into the 3rd base. And Serral calls GG as SKillous blinks on top of his army, whilst the lurkers are already on their center base. And that means that ZhuGeLiang has to fight into lurkers without any detection. And of course, this army of Serral just way smaller than SKillous' army. Oof. Not gonna lie, I like it when Serral's off-raise loses more than when his main raise wins. Because, you know, this stupid trend of all these pro players turning to the dark side, it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. Let's see how ZhuGeLiang and Serral are gonna stop the bleeding. Game number 2. For game number 2, we'll load up into Reclamation. LE with SKillous and Elazer spawning in the top side, probably very comfortable with their 1-0 lead against ZhuGeLiang, and Serral still on the Protoss pieces, so he is still channeling the dark side. And, you know, the dark side of the Force might reward him, might not. We'll have to see. Of course, Reclamation. You have your own main bases. Shared natural. 2 entrances to the natural. Devious low ground bases. But also some nice high ground bases. And of course, once this location gets taken by your enemies, it is very hard to defend all of your outer bases aside from your natural. So taking this base with the Rich Geyser and fortifying it to the max seems to be a very important objective on this map. Let's see how ZhuGeLiang and Serral are going to go about that. Wow, a pool before hatchery here. Together with a double gateway play from Serral once again. Is this a tight wall or is it not? I don't think so. Look at this. Nah, a probe can sneak through, right? It's almost impossible to wall with these 2 buildings anyways. So, probably not fully walled. And SKillous and Elazer on this side. Already taking extra bases. Elazer going for a gasless expand here. Is he going to go... No, he didn't go 3 hatch before pool. And double gateway for Serral finishing up. Are we going to see that double stalker again? Or is it going to be Adepts perhaps? It is going to be double stalker again. Pylon finishes up. And these stalkers can start running across the map. What is Elazer going to do with this or about this? Some Zerglings already starting to run across the map. Halfway done here with speed, whereas Elazer does not have speed. Is he going to go for double queen and a spine? That would be a-okay, I feel like. Double queen. Queens to the front. And still no gas here. Little awkward. Let's see what happens. More gateways for SKillous. I don't see a Twilight. They make these extra gateways because they want to defend. They have seen that there could be a potential problem here. ZhuGeLiang making a lot of Zerglings here. Look at that. Lots and lots of Zerglings in production here. And some Stalkers are running across the map here for Serral. 2 Stalkers already just putting on the pressure. The heat is on. Do we have a proxy pylon from Serral? I don't see anything. So he's going to go for an expand 2-gate and just send out 4 Stalkers. And with 4 Stalkers and a bunch of Zerglings, they are going to try get an advantage here. We do see Twilight Console being started here for Serral. And SKillous has not had the balls to start his. He's afraid of this attack or potential attack. And wants to make sure that he has a defensive position. 4 queens here from Elazer. Oh, he's going to lose 1 queen. And the transfuse is gone. We see this 1 force field not doing all too much. ZhuGeLiang has a lot of Zerglings here. And SKillous does have a couple of units. This shield battery doing work. And this Adept, more force fields trying to hold back these Stalkers from retreating, but they can't quite do it. The Sentry doing bonus damage to shields, but it isn't quite enough. And lots of Zerglings did go down there. And Elazer now also making his own Zerglings still. Only now we get the gases for Elazer, but he doesn't start a Roach Warren or anything. So can he really defend? No spines, but they do seem to hold it off. What is the damage? We see 28 Lings die, 1 Stalker for 3 workers in total. That seems kind of iffy. But SKillous only just now starting his Twilight Console, whereas Blink for Serral's already halfway done. This could be a pretty menacing follow-up attack here from the Team Phenom. We have 3 hatcheries for ZhuGeLiang, but he is kind of allergic to making drones right now. He makes a couple, makes a baneling nest, and I think we're going to see a nice follow-up attack here from the bottom team. What is the top team doing to prepare for this? Oh, he started a second Twilight Console and now finishes up the first, cancels the second one. And SKillous on 3 gateways. What is Elazer thinking about? He's thinking about a quick lair with slow Zerglings. No Roach Warren, not even for memes, not just for safety. And he is on 2 bases, 4 gases. This looks to be somebody wants to make Aspire. But it's also somebody that can't help the defense of his team. And they are about to get crushed. Baling, Baneling, Blink, Stalker. 3rd base is going to go down. The lair has finished for Elazer, the slowlings are here. He hasn't even started a tech... Oh no, his lair isn't even done yet. Dude, where are the spines? Third base for SKillous is in peril, and it is down. SKillous does have a decent amount of stalkers. One shield battery to back him up. We do see Zergling speed from Elazer come in, but we have Banelings and now a full surround on the stalkers. They do stay alive, but the blink for Elazer is just a little bit too much. Consistently target firing all of the stalkers, and that really seals the deal here. So many stalkers for Serral that continuously were able to click down the stalkers of SKillous, and SKillous' army just goes down. Elazer still has a couple lings. The drones came off the line, but didn't quite have enough juice, and the reinforcements are just deadly. No banelings left remaining, but also no army left remaining for the blue Protoss. Couple stalkers being morphed in. The probes came off the line. There's even another baneling. And that just nullifies all of Elazer's Zerglings, and the GG is called Elazer. Probably floating 100,000 million gas because he has 4 geysers and no tech to use it. His third base also got taken down, and Serral and ZhuGeLiang, they are here to play. They play with a very early stalker pressure with Zerglings, try to get something done, force their opponents to delay their tech, and then come in with the second punch to knock them out of the field. And that forces us to a game number 3, a final match for this best of 3. Winner moves on to the grand finals. For our final game, we load up into Emerald City with Serral and ZhuGeLiang taking the second game, forcing a game number 3. Of course, Emerald City, shared natural, shared main, low ground third base, high ground third base, and then we also have this gold base. This map does function a lot like Reclamation, the previous map, whereas when your opponents are able to take this area, they can really force you out of position, sieging both of these bases. But it's a little harder to take this area because if you attack from the low ground, getting up this ramp is very difficult. So you really have to take the rocks down or walk there first. And that gives your opponents usually enough time to respond. And let's see how Elazer and SKillous respond to the very aggressive style that we have been seeing from Serral and ZhuGeLiang. The 2-gate into the quick pull attack from the second game was very, very strong. And in the first game, we also saw ZhuGeLiang go very low drone count and just try and be aggressive. And Serral been showing that he likes getting the 2-gate opener, doesn't go for the fast nexus that SKillous has been showing. But, I mean, they do kind of know, the Liquid Boys know, that Team Phenom likes to go for these early aggressive plays. And let's see how they're going to defend before the action kicks off. Be sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you are enjoying the cast. And if you like more StarCraft, this is a good place to get more StarCraft. Thank you. Now, ZhuGeLiang, let's see what you were up to here, buddy. He's gonna mine up to 100. Is he gonna take out a gas, or are they gonna get aggressive right away? Maybe he's just going to aggressively tech. It's also a possibility. We see the double stalker play again from Serral, and no nexus just yet. Has been scouted by SKillous, and SKillous only on one gateway so far. He's getting stalker. And no gases so far for Elazer, going for the double queen once again. This time around, they do know that ZhuGeLiang isn't as aggressive as in the previous game. 2 drones still on gas, though. And speed is already coming up. Third base is coming up. And Serral finds a probe here with his stalker. Oh! There is a probe here, but is there really going to be a nexus? Looks to me that Serral might just do that. There's no proxy across the map, so it's not super committed. Serral looks to be banking enough money. So this is just going to be another 4 stalker with Zergling push. Ooh, SKillous finds the 1 stalker. Maybe he can get some HP damage. No, he cannot. That does make him aware of those stalkers moving across the map. Let's see what ZhuGeLiang is making. He's getting a Baneling Nest and more Zerglings. So this is still pretty aggressive, pretty committed. We even see that one Spinecrawler now. Double gas coming down for Elazer, and he's getting his own Baneling Nest. I do like that. A little bit of a change up from game number 2. Getting his own Baneling Nest so that if there's a big Ling flood with a Stalker attack, that he can actually make some defensive Banelings. 6 Stalkers, Ling Baneling attack here from Serral and ZhuGeLiang. Can they kill the Liquid Boys here on Emerald City? The Stalkers try to kill that pylon. The Baneling bust down the pylon. The shield battery can't do anything anymore. The Queens are off of creep and in peril. They died as well. The Stalker's still alive, and the Ling's mostly just body blocking and tanking for these Stalkers to do the damage. Of course, Lings do pretty good damage as well. And these Stalkers keep themselves alive. 6 Stalkers is enough to click down the opposing Stalkers. This Queen doesn't quite click down the right Stalkers. Oh my god. Is the Finnish team doing this? These Stalkers are just doing massive damage. We see Blink at the back of that starting up, but SKillous is staying alive here, repowering the shield battery. We have some Banelings from Elazer as well. ZhuGeLiang is trying to get up more Banelings, but the Stalkers could start clicking those down. And the Stalker numbers are starting to look better and better here for SKillous. He has Blink, where Serral does not. And Serral also does not have a position at the front with a pylon or a gateway. So these Stalkers is all that Serral's going to have for now. ZhuGeLiang getting in there with his Lings and Banes. But now the speed for Serral or Elazer finishes up, gets the surround onto Serral. And just like that, the Liquid Boys defend this very, very committed aggression from Team Phenom. And what are they going to do to try and defend here? Serral getting up gateway 3, 4, 5, and 6. He has a couple Stalkers. He has a nice sentry. And his Blink is about to finish. But Elazer went across the map. Has a bunch of Banelings here. We do have defensive Banelings as well. Now SKillous running across the map using Blink to get there earlier. But he only has 3 gateways. So if Serral gets like 2 rounds of Stalkers here, I feel like they are gonna do better as long as there is a couple Banelings to deal with infinite amounts of Lings. Nice Guardian Shield as well to deal with this Stalker battle. These Banelings try to get in, but all of the Banelings have been dealt with. Now the Banelings try to get on top of ZhuGeLiang's Lings. They have to run away, but now the Lings of Elazer get on top of the Stalkers of Serral, and he has to retreat. Serral gets a nice warp in from all those Stalkers, but is it enough? Looks to be a pretty nice amount of Stalkers. The probes get pulled off the line, and the Lings of ZhuGeLiang are trying to battle the Lings of Elazer. It looks good so far. And SKillous blinks away from Serral. Serral gets up to his second shield battery. Nice defensive position. Hopefully they can hold this. And these Stalkers do the work. The reinforcements of Serral look to be enough. And the light amount of Banelings of ZhuGeLiang and the Ling reinforcements do seem to be enough to keep them in this game. But more Banelings are coming out from Elazer, and SKillous probably morphing in more Stalkers to send to the front. He is also taking a third base here, as is Elazer. ZhuGeLiang has a third base, but does not have the drones to really do anything with that. 24 drones here for ZhuGeLiang. That's how committed they were to get some damage done with that Ling Baneling. And that's a lot of Banelings. ZhuGeLiang, you can't run into those. He does have a couple Banelings, but they are kind of choking each other out here on the ramp. Oh, this Baneling gets on top of the press X. Yes, he does get a couple of Banelings there. And Serral, I mean, he's getting good trades because I think he has more Stalkers, but this third base of ZhuGeLiang is going to go down. We see some Broodlings come out, but they don't get on top of the Banelings either, and this third base is just completely dead. Serral wants to keep his third base alive. If both of these third bases go down, that means that the Liquid Boys definitely in the driver's seat for the rest of the game, most likely. Serral does have a very high supply compared to his opponents, so maybe they can form some kind of sneaky counterattack here and start doing some counter damage. ZhuGeLiang doesn't look to be very interested in attacking up at all. Does have a lair, so I guess getting +1 as well, but no drones. Oh, he is getting some drones. I'm looking at Elazer. Elazer has a Spire finishing up. He has 2 bases worth of gas. And since it's past 7, you could even request some gas from his ally. Really get a nice amount of meters going. We also see a Dark Shrine from Serral. He's probably feeling a little behind. And is now going for the Dark Shrine. Third base for SKillous is done and also saturated. Same for Serral, so the Protoss is on both sides. Looking good, lots of Stalkers. With the Stalker lead going to Serral with 1 Stalker. Now even probes as well. One does not simply go even with Serral. And now the Mutmuts are out on the map. Are these going to be seen at all before going into the main base of ZhuGeLiang? And I mean, ZhuGeLiang is super poor. He's starting a Spire of his own. So he's going into Mutas versus a Zerg that just has more resources. A team that has more resources. And SKillous, nice job here, kind of zoning out this army to deal with the Mutas. And I don't know if they know. I don't think so, because there's no spores in this main base. So if these Mutas come in, I think that might be an instant GG, or it needs to be insta recall on these Stalkers, but they can't recall because the army is moving in. The Mutas are in the main. ZhuGeLiang losing everything he holds dear. There is actually a recall. Wow, that loses a couple Stalkers, plus no more recall for a while. And Serral does blink in here, try to save his buddy, kills a couple of those Stalkers, but now also has to defend his third base. I mean, Serral does manage to defend somehow, some way. No, the Stalkers, they move command into SKillous' army. Has to blink away. SKillous does blink after him. That would have been disastrous, but SKillous now gets free reign on the third base. How is Serral going to defend this? All of his Stalkers do come in. Do we have an upgrade lead for either side? Yes. SKillous has +1, where Serral does not. So SKillous could really force a bad position here. Also has more Stalkers now, but the DTs are running across the map, doing some damage. And in the meanwhile, Elazer and SKillous still poking, making it very difficult for the Finnish team to defend. Oh, these Stalkers walk in. Oh my god, SKillous, what a nice position. Oh, I have the high ground now, Anakin. What does your Dark Force say about that? Or the dark side of the Force, of course. And SKillous using that high ground advantage against his opponent. Oh, nice blink in from Serral. Gets an immediate snipe on a Stalker. Very ballsy blink forward. A blunk, if I may. And another one occurs. Serral just wants to get it done. Sends in the Dark Templar as well, but SKillous has an Observer. And those Dark Templar will get targeted down. And lots of Lingbane here from Elazer as well. In the wings, ready to pounce on an opportunity to really deal with his opponent, ZhuGeLiang. Lucky one time. Oh, these Banelings! Oh, get a pretty good hits on those Zerglings. And 2 more. A bunch more actually come in. But as soon as these Stalkers get their hands on him, we do see an Archon here for Serral. Archons are very good right now. They tank very well against the Stalkers, and they also do amazingly against the Zerglings. Zerglings stuck behind, but now they get through. The Banelings want to get through. They want to get on top of this army. They can just waddle back and forth and tank the shots. ZhuGeLiang, don't be too stingy. And now he does waddle in. Serral's army doing pretty good. We still have an Archon here. Now we actually get Mutas out of ZhuGeLiang. So maybe he could get some counter damage across the map. Haven't really seen the Mutas of Elazer do anything anymore. Whoa, big blunk again from Serral. He's done with this stuff from SKillous. Gets another Stalker for his troubles. And wow, Serral's supply is so high, but SKillous also not looking too shabby. Oh, that War Prism, nice pick off there by Serral. You could call it lucky, or it's just pure skill. We do see Lurkers coming out from Elazer. And all of the Mutas did get killed. Oh, Lurkers in this position is gonna be really awful to fight into here for the Phenom team. ZhuGeLiang, he does provide the detection, but he does not provide any means of killing the Lurkers. These Stalkers, they blink in. Oh, they take damage from all sides. Who surrounds who? Do have some Zealots here, but they are slow Zealots, and the Spines just rain through onto the Stalkers here. And, ooh, Serral lost a lot of supply there into those Lurkers, and those Lurkers weren't even being protected. ZhuGeLiang is taking down a hatchery here with his Mutas, and he just wants to click it down. Actually, just flies through the Stalkers and loses almost all of them. It's pretty rough. Another War Prism is coming out for SKillous. More Lurkers for Elazer. And the longer this game goes, the better it looks for the bottom team. The Dark Templar kept them in the game. Serral, his micro, kept them in the game. +2 against +2. But what is the end game here? We do see +1 armor and charge finally coming in here for Serral. Blinks into a lurker, as he just does not have observers at all. And the Overseers keep getting sniped. Oh, he blinks back, but Serral can't get out here. Is stuck between the lurkers and the stalkers, and now has to somehow defend. ZhuGeLiang tries to get something done on the other side of the map with Serral's zealots, but he has to fight 1v2 here with his stalkers. That does not feel good. He does have a little bit of a place to fall back to with the cannon, with the shoot battery, but his stalker count has just been thinned out a bit too much. With all of these lurkers, they are doing some counter damage here with the zealots, with the links, with the mutas, and the full retreat has been sounded, or has been signed, as Serral retreats from his 4th base. Might try and take one at the gold here, but the links and the zealots here actually did quite a bit of damage, taking down one of the bases, but SKillous is taking another one over there, and these zealots try to fight into Ling, Hydra Lurker, and Serral calls the G to the G as his main army gets blonked on. His 4th base isn't online quite yet, and the run-bys are also getting dealt with by both Lurkers, Lings, and Hydras. And that means that SKillous and Elazer take this series 2-1 with kind of blowout games, game 1 and 2, but this 3rd game was pretty back and forth. Again, a pretty committed attack from Serral and ZhuGeLiang. I mean, we all know Serral is the macro god, but once he goes to the dark side, plays a little bit of Protoss, starts cheesing like a mother effer, and they definitely tried to rush 3 games in a row. Made this 3rd game really count, dude. Serral with the Stalkers and the Archons with it really tried his ass off. Got those Dark Templar in the mineral lines as well, and did good damage. But in the end, Elazer and SKillous prevail on their main races, hold off the initial attack, and after that kind of were in the driver's seat for most of that game. And with that, congratulations to SKillous and Elazer going to the Grand Finals. That Grand Finals is, of course, up on my channel if you want to watch it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed some StarCraft 2v2 action, and hope to see you in the next one. Cheers. Subscribe.